Good morning and welcome to Farm Factor. I'm your host, Jamie Bloom. Today, Duane Toews is visiting with Aaron Baugh with the Kansas Department of Wildlife, Parks, and Tourism. Then it's this week's Kansas Soybean update. Next, Kyle Bauer and Risa DeMasi are talking about the American Seed Trade Association. Then it's the Kansas Farm Bureau update, and we'll end with Plain Talk with Kyle and Duane. Stay with us.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome to Farm Factor. Up first today, Duane Toews and Aaron Baugh are talking about the walk-in hunting access program here in the state.
Duane Toews joining you once again on Ag AM in Kansas, and a chance to catch up with Aaron Baugh with Kansas Wildlife Parks and Tourism. And Aaron, one of the popular programs that Wildlife and Parks for a number of years has been involved in, and really it serves a kind of two purposes for both the enthusiast and sportsman, but the landowner as well, the walk-in wildlife hunting program. Talk to us a little bit about that program and how it works.
Yeah, the walk-in program is where we lease private property for public access. There we have several different side shoots, offsets of that program where we can give either long-term leases for up to 10 years there when it's on an all-up-front payment, or we do more of an annual lease there, and the landowner gets a payment every year there. So there's several different aspects to the program, and we've really kind of tailored it to best suit the landowner out there.
Now, obviously, there are differences from across the state, from east to west, and what might be a good hunting ground in one area of the state, maybe not in another, but it allows producers to gain some revenue off those acres, but at the same time continue to support a program and an opportunity for those maybe in urban areas that don't have hunting acres contracted, that they can enjoy the outdoors as well.
Yeah, that's right, and it really works well for absentee landowners that can't be out there on their property and keep a close eye on it. Our properties are patrolled by our game wardens out there, and so and then we also have liability coverage on those properties, so the landowner's protected by that aspect as well there. So it works out across the state for a different variety of landowners there, whether if you're on the property there and just but don't have the time to manage it and want to get a little extra money off of it, it works out for them, and then it works out for those absentee landowners as well.
We think about other offshoots from that program. I think there's a fishing program as well.
Yeah, there's the fish access where we lease ponds there for public access, and then the biologists a lot of times will stock those ponds too to maybe bump up the fish numbers there for the fishing out there too.
Well, our thanks to Aaron Baugh joining us on Ag AM in Kansas, talking about the wildlife or walk-in hunting program. If they have more information, is the easiest way just to go to the website?
Yeah, you can go to ksoutdoors.com or just type in Kansas Wildlife and Parks and Tourism on any of the search browsers, and you'll get to our website there. Or you can call one of the local offices in your area and talk to them there and get more information on the program.
Thanks, Duane. Be sure and come back after these messages for this week's Kansas Soybean update.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.com, Valley Vet Supply.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
Hi, I'm Kim Mandring with Hardy Insurance. I'm here to help you with all of your farm and ranch needs. When it comes to protecting your operation and your family, you need a name you can trust at a price you can afford. Call me today or visit hardyaviationins.com.
All over the country, more and more communities are making the change to biodiesel made from U.S. soybean oil. And the decision continues, improving the health and welfare for millions of Americans while adding billions to our national economy.
This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Welcome back to Farm Factor and the Kansas Soybean Update.
This is the Kansas Soybean Update. It's brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Brad Parker, Communications Director with the Kansas Soybean Commission, joins us. And Brad, we're excited to tell everyone that we're going to have some changes to the Kansas Soybean Update program.
Starting with the July 4 to 10 Kansas Soybean Update, we've got a couple of schedule changes within the network. If you listen to the update on WIBW AM 580 out of Topeka, that one's going to be moving to Wednesday at 6:40 a.m. So same time, just a different day of the week. And then if you listen on KRVN AM 880 out of Lexington, Nebraska, there's a new day and time. Starting next month, you'll want to tune in Thursday at 1:43 in the afternoon to catch the update.
If you want to listen to the Kansas Soybean Update program, that's just a couple of the stations that are included in that.
All the others are staying the same. So if you listen on KFEQ out of St. Joe, Missouri, KKOW in Pittsburgh, KBUF in Garden City, KXXX in Colby, or KFRM out of Clay Center, it's business as usual, same day and time on all of those stations. And the complete lineup is on our website. Just go to kansassoybeans.org/radio and you can see all the stations and their schedules. If you listen to K-State's Agriculture Today, they use the update Thursday, about 40 minutes into the program. So whatever station you happen to listen to Agriculture Today on, you can catch the soybean update on Thursday.
If someone misses one of the Kansas Soybean Updates on the radio or other venues as well, they've got other avenues they can do that too.
If you've got the Kansas Soybean app on either your iOS or Android device, open that up, find the little radio icon, and there's 6 weeks worth of updates there on the app. You can also go to that same webpage I mentioned earlier, kansassoybeans.org/radio. There's about 3 months worth of updates archived there. We're uploading the program now to SoundCloud. So go to that website, soundcloud.com/Kansas Soybean, and we'll have them backed up there. There'll be kind of an indefinite archive going forward. So you can get the oldest programs there. And one of the neat things about SoundCloud is you can also download it, save it on your computer or your device if for any reason you want to keep an update there for yourself.
That is Brad Parker, Communications Director with the Kansas Soybean Commission, our guest on the Kansas Soybean Update. It's brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Learn more at kansassoybeans.org. For Kansas Soybeans, I'm Greg Akagi.
Hope you enjoyed this week's Kansas Soybean Update. Stay with us after the break for more with Kyle Bauer and Risa DeMasi with the American Seed Trade Association.
What if U.S. soybean oil were an industry sensation? If end users started asking for it by name? That future is here. The time is now. To meet customer demands, the Soybean Checkoff is investing in varieties that produce oil with increased functionality. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
What does a brighter, more sustainable future look like in our cities and towns, and how do we get there? When New York needed an alternative fuel source to reduce carbon emissions, the city found what it needed in biodiesel made from U.S. soybean oil.
Summer is busy at Tarwater Farm and Home. We have just about everything you'll need for your summer projects, and we're consistently competitively priced. Tarwaters can help make your grass and garden grow. And we have a huge variety of equipment to cut it. If you have a farm, Tidewater has the products and equipment to keep it going strong. And our expanded parking lot will make it even more convenient to shop. So come see us at Tidewater Farm and Home in Topeka. This segment brought to you by Sure Crop, liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
We're back. Now Kyle Bauer and Risa DeMasi are talking cover crops and other seeds that the American Seed Trade Association helps promote.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer visiting with Risa DeMasi. Risa is from Oregon, but she works with the American Seed Trade Association. Let's start, Risa, with what the American Seed Trade Association is.
The American Seed Trade Association covers everything that starts with a seed, and everything really does start with a seed. We handle everything from alfalfa to zucchinis and all types of breeding techniques, from organics to conventional to all the new innovations that are coming out.
You would think, though, that with that wide of a range, they wouldn't have a zucchini breeder, if you will, wouldn't have a lot in common with an alfalfa breeder, but that's not true.
That's absolutely not true. We have a lot of shared values. You know, quality seed is incredibly important, as farmers know very well. They have enough that comes at them and that they have to manage. The last thing they need is having to manage, low quality seed with a low germ, or, maybe some weeds that might be in there. But, quality seed and making new tools available, that's what we're all about.
One of the new areas is an area that your particular company works with, cover crops.
Cover crops is very exciting. I think that, we're coming into an era of precision cover crops. We've got, it's not just cereal rye anymore. We've got new products out there that are highly effective. Some of these cover crops are like the Swiss Army knives of plants. They do so many beneficial things.
I hear them referred to as a cocktail. Can you explain that just a bit?
Well, there are a lot of cocktail mixes being recommended, and what they're doing is they're picking and choosing some of those highly effective products and putting them together to meet the specific needs that the farmer has. Once he's identified the goals, whether it's weed suppression, nutrient management, nematode control, we've got products that fit all of those needs, and some of them work wonderfully together.
And literally, it could vary from across the road. One farmer may want his cocktail to be X and another one Y.
It depends on, again, what their goals are. And I think if they can identify the top three, they have so many choices to choose from. And it depends on their soil type. And we talk about the ABCs of cover crops. They need to be affordable, they need to be beneficial, and they have to be complementary to the cropping cycle that they're in, the soil type that they're in, and the management style that they're willing to provide.
We've used turnips for cattle feed for a number of years, and so that one isn't so new. But truly, when you look at these cocktails, a lot of that were plants that we hadn't considered on farms, certainly in my lifetime.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of new species that are going to come out, and there's an educational process to help them understand how those fit their cycles and their management styles and whatever the needs that they have are. One of the new ones is like a very cold-tolerant Balanza clover called Fixation. And not only does it do a fantastic job at producing nitrogen in the soil, it's really good at providing pollinators with their forage needs and livestock with their needs as well.
You mentioned pollinators, and certainly that is one thing as farmers we're asked to start to try to manage for.
There are 400 million acres of pastures in the U.S. What a great opportunity that we have to make a big difference and an impact on that pollinator health and their migration pattern. If you look at where those acres are in the U.S., they're right up and down that corridor where they're migrating. And these products that are beneficial to them are also beneficial to the soil, beneficial to livestock, beneficial to the farmer's bottom line, because they're highly efficient at what they do. You don't need very much, and a little bit goes a long way.
We're visiting with Risa DeMasi. She is with the American Seed Trade Association. Back to you, Jamie.
Thanks, Kyle. Come back after the break for this week's Kansas Farm Bureau update.
KFRM is one of the largest farm radio stations in the nation, dedicated to informing and entertaining rural listeners from northern Oklahoma to southwestern Nebraska. You can catch KFRM in many ways. Of course, 550 on the AM dial, streaming at kfrm.com, or on your smartphone by going to the TuneIn Radio app, or on Ag AM in Kansas on Tuesdays and Facebook every day of the week. KFRM, tune us in. You'll be glad you did.
I had this horse. It was a good horse, except when the wind was blowing above 30 miles an hour. The wind was blowing about 35, 40, and I saddled him up, rode him out to the end of the lane, and I thought, well, he's doing pretty good. And about 6 jumps later, I was laying on the ground and thinking, boy, my shoulders sure hurt. I kept waiting, and it didn't get better, and so I went to an orthopedic surgeon, and that showed that I had torn rotator cuff. He said, well, I have to do surgery. I thought, I farm and ranch by myself. This is not going to work out very well. I'd been sleeping in my recliner for about 2.5 years because it hurt too much to sleep in bed on my side. I'd heard about Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center on the radio. Gotten down there at 8 o'clock in the morning, and by 11:30 the procedure was all over. They just took some fat out of my side here and spun that down for about 45 minutes and then injected it in my shoulders, and I was on my way. It's something you don't hear about, but I thought it was worth a try, and I'm really pleased. It's really worked out well for me.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to Farm Factor and the Kansas Farm Bureau Update.
Agriculture is in the midst of a labor crisis that's only getting worse. Ag groups have been pushing Congress to fix the immigration system for the last 2 decades. Paul Schlegel, AFBF Managing Director of Public Policy and Economics, says it's past time for Congress to get the immigration system overhauled. He says one of the first things to decide is how to grant legal status to the workforce that's already in the country.
We are now dependent to a large degree on hundreds of thousands of workers who would like to get legal status, and we want to get them legal status. So stabilization of our existing workforce is a principal element that has to be addressed. And for the future, we have to have a guest worker program that embraces all of agriculture, that's affordable, that's not bureaucratic, that gets employers workers when they need them.
The House of Representatives is due to consider an immigration bill sponsored by Republican Bob Goodlatte of Virginia. Schlegel says the bill improves the guest worker program, but Farm Bureau's also paying close attention to the other aspects of the bill.
It's an affordable program. It moves it to the Department of Agriculture. It's less expensive for growers. So there are very, very many ways that guest worker program is positive. The other aspect, our short-term issue on stabilization of the existing workforce, the bill falls short. And we have been in ongoing discussions with the chairman and the staff. It's not, frankly, where we would like it to be at the moment, but we certainly want to make sure that if the House passes any kind of legislation, they have something on agriculture.
With growing concerns about immigration and its connection to the House Farm Bill's passage, Schlegel says the House will take action soon. He says Farm Bureau's main concern is that ag labor be included in an immigration reform package.
We expect something will happen in the month of June. It may be in the 3rd week of June, but we don't yet know what a package is going to look like, and we are trying feverishly to make sure that if there is some new vehicle that is going to get voted on and passed, that it addresses at least some aspects of agricultural labor.
Chad Smith, Washington.
Stay with us. We'll be back after the break with Plain Talk.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for the grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well on their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, we're glad to answer it and work with you.
You don't have to be a farmer or rancher to become a Kansas Farm Bureau member. Anyone can join. As a member, you'll get discounts on things like hotels and entertainment, health and wellness services, cell phone plans, and more. You'll also strengthen the lives of your fellow Kansans and help build strong, prosperous communities through agriculture advocacy and education. Join us today. Visit kfb.org/join to learn more.
With nearly 100 years of broadcasting excellence, Ren Radio is now live on the internet playing hit songs of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Join Jack Diamond, Mac Collins, Les Glenn, Frankie C., Antonio Barber, Wings Callahan, and the real Don Steele for some of the best music ever recorded. Hear it at rendigitalmedia.com or get the Ren Oldies Radio app in Play Store or App Store and tell Alexa, good times and great oldies on Ren Internet Radio.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Welcome back. Now let's see what Kyle and Duane are up to on Plain Talk.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer with Plain Talk with Duane Toews.
Kyle Bauer, your fact or fiction question of the day. The first speeding ticket was written, or otherwise given to someone who was speeding. The year 1895. Fact or fiction?
For a motor vehicle or for a horse?
I'm assuming a motor vehicle.
You're assuming that?
I'm assuming that. I do.
All right.
know.
Well, that makes a difference because I understood that you could get speeding tickets on horses.
My son got a speeding ticket on skis one time in Colorado.
Did he really?
Yeah. Actually, he
got a warning.
He didn't get a ticket, but he got pulled over by the
by
the patrol and said, "Slow it down,
Yeah,
son."
but he didn't get. You can get thrown off the mountain.
Well, they didn't throw him off,
and they don't give you your money back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want that to happen on your first trip down the hill for the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Those tickets are a little expensive.
And I don't think it's necessarily just about your speed, but it's the speed and the skill of which you are exhibiting that speed. Because let's face it, there's some guys can go really fast.
And as long as they're under control.
And then they can be under control, which me, on the other hand, the only time that I go fast is when I'm falling.
Yeah.
And then my arms are flailing so much that it's not safe for anyone within a quarter mile.
A big radius.
What was the question again?
1895, first speeding tickets.
Well, that's about when the cars came on. I'll go true.
That's what it says.
Yeah, I think.
Can you believe the old boy was going 6 miles per hour?
How did they know that? They put a radar gun on him?
I don't know.
6 miles an hour.
6
and
miles
that was
per
too
hour.
fast.
Yeah.
That's a fast
fast
trot for a horse.
You know, many of our school zones are 20 mile per hour zones. And today we think, wow, we're just crawling along here at that.
Right.
But think about 1895, you know, at 6 mile per hour, that probably seemed like they're boogieing right along.
Well, again, though, that's just a
there.
fast trot on a horse.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe you couldn't fast trot through a school lane either.
Might have been outside.
Maybe
school.
that's how they clocked him. I've been following you on a horse fast trotting.
Yeah. I have no idea how they determined that he was going 6 miles per hour.
I think Grant got a speeding ticket when he was president in Washington, D.C. with a carriage. He was actually driving as the president.
Seriously.
And he got a speeding ticket.
Well, now that'd be novel.
Now, if I
DC
made that up,
cops can say that they gave a president a speeding ticket.
Right, and maybe I have the wrong president. Maybe I have that wrong, but I have some weird dreams, and I don't remember weird dreaming that one. So I'm going to say that's a fact.
You're going to stick with it till somebody proves otherwise.
Well, and if Heather can't find it, she'll probably just cut all that out.
Just clip.
Yeah, clip. Yeah. Now we'll have a really short show today.
Well, it happens.
Early in the 19th century, which would be the 1800s,
right,
12% of the world's population could read and write. 12%.
Only 12%.
Yeah, of the world. Now, this isn't just the United States.
Yeah,
of the world.
There are a lot of places
because
out there where they still have issue getting kids educated.
Yes, but in the United States, it's always been a pillar of our country is to educate the young people.
Right.
But only 12% of the world. Today, what do you think percent of the people that can read and write in the world? There's a lot more people than there was.
There's a lot of people
in the back in the 1800s.
I'm going to go with 87%.
You are unbelievably close. 83%.
Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed today's show. I'm Jamie Bloom, your host, and I'll see you next week on Farm Factor.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.